by the amazing Allison O'Toole, Dan Price, Andre Owen, Fred Kennedy,
Chip Zdarsky. Chip, thanks for
Hello.
coming.
What's up, folks? I'm your host, Konrad, on Wednesday Night Reviews. And this wonderful Tuesday night, we're joined by Matt McGrath and Marissa Mayhew. Folks, thanks so much for taking the time.
Yeah, thanks for having us here.
Yeah, howdy.
Absolutely. Well, happy to have you. Fans of the show, longtime fans, of which I'm sure there are two, have seen Matt before. We've had Matt on for the first two issues of ID10T Error. A third came out. I did back it. Didn't have time for an interview, but these things happen. And Marissa, you are a totally brand new guest to the show, so thank you.
Well, thank you for having me.
For sure. Then, you know what? We'll start with Matt to ease Marissa in. Matt, for the folks at home who've never seen your face, never heard your name, who is Matt McGrath?
Yeah, the question on everybody's mind. So I'm Matt McGrath. I am a comic writer from Toronto, Canada. And we're me and Marissa are here to promote A Journey into the Abyss, which is a book we've been working on for 4 years.
Yeah,
I think five.
just
Yeah.
before COVID, I think.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Right on.
I remember it was definitely during COVID because I remember being at home a lot while I was texting you and thinking of the story. So, yeah, and an idea that I've had kicking around in my head since my college days, so a long, long time ago. And then I've written other comics in the past, like you mentioned, ID10T Error, my miniseries that came to a close last year, and it's almost done. It's on its way, Konrad. I know
Beauty.
you're waiting impatiently, but yeah, Ottavio sent me a page today. So he has 4 more to draw.
Oh,
It's done.
sweet.
And that's about me in a nutshell.
Wonderful.
Over Marissa.
Yeah, Marissa. Who is Marissa Mayhew?
I guess I'm a writer, comic artist, illustrator. I've been doing drawing for as long as I can remember. And I think it was kind of when I started university that I really got, into getting into comics. And I was reading a lot of web comics at that time. And I probably didn't start getting like really into it and finding that, making them as my calling until maybe it was about 2017, 2018. So I've been in a couple like local anthologies that were organized by the art gallery. I've also been working with the university. We made like Brandon University, I should probably clarify.
I was gonna say, yeah, you mentioned local. Where's local?
I'm from Brandon, Manitoba.
Right on.
Yeah, so I've been working with the university. Last year we made this comic about sexual violence and addressing that for women and those who have experienced it. And then also like to create comics that are I guess otherwise personally very whimsical and fantasy and have queer themes. So this is a very exciting project to work on with Matt. When he approached me about it, I was just like, oh, I'm very excited to check it out or try it out, and learning a lot about what inspired Matt about the comic too. And this has been a really great project to be working on. So
right on.
It's been awesome working with you. Yeah, so like I kind of I discovered Marissa's I feel like I might have seen it before, but where I kind of like got the idea to work with her or reach out to her was on Gothic Tales of Haunted Futures. That was an anthology that we were both in. I had a story, and Marissa had a story, and I just really loved her work on that. So I kind of had an idea for another anthology story that I pitched to her, and I didn't get in. But then I was like, oh, okay, well, I have this other idea. If you kind of want to try this, and
Mhm.
you know, at the time, I think I pitched it to her as like it's going to be like a 20-page silent comic. Like there's going to be no dialogue. And
Mm-hmm.
then from there, just kept ballooning until like, okay, maybe it's actually 36 pages now. And no, wait, it's 50 pages. So it's 70, it's 90. And then I had to like scale it back. So yeah, here we are.
Awesome. And then you know what? An important question, 'cause I haven't gotten to ask it yet, but it's great so far. Um, the book itself, A Journey into the Abyss, a science fantasy graphic novel. Um, from both of you, I'd like an answer. Um, what is this book about?
Sure. So I'll go first. It is so the inspiration comes from the works of Georges Méliès. So if you don't know the name, you probably know the image of the silent film of the man in the moon getting hit with a rocket. So yeah, Georges Méliès, he was creating around the turn of the century. He's like one of the pioneers of filmmaking. He's one of the first kind of artists of, I don't know, cinema. The first kind of to use the technology to do kind of new artistic things like special effects
Mm-hmm.
and all that stuff. And yeah, over his pretty short career, he created and directed like hundreds and hundreds of films. And you know, we have a bunch of them, but there's also hundreds that have been lost over that time.
Wild.
So yeah, if you've seen Hugo, like that's probably another place. Like Ben Kingsley, is that his name?
Yeah.
Played Méliès in that movie. So yeah, I was a film major in university, and I kind of like generally knew what the man, I knew that one image, but in university and film studies is where I got to see more films. I just kind of became a little, I don't know, enamored with how cool they were. The
Oh
kind of
yeah.
blending of science fiction and fantasy, and the kind of, I don't know, yeah, that aesthetic. And yeah, it's just an idea that I had knocking around my head, but really very vague. Like it's kind of like Theseus's ships of story ideas, where one part kind of just kept being replaced and replaced and replaced until like the original idea had looked nothing like what we have today. But
Yeah.
yeah, so I don't know really how I came about the story, but it's just a very slow process over like 15 years. So I didn't really describe at all what about the story is about. It's about um, our main character Beatrice, who has lost their spouse in this journey to the stars. So in this world, like they haven't just gone to the moon; they've kind of explored the entire solar system, which is based on like a very uh, is it heliocentric? So it's Earth at the center of the
Yep.
universe. And so Beatrice or and like the other people want to reach the stars, but it's this impossible mission. Like it's way too far away. They can't do it. And her love of her life, her spouse, was tragically died in a previous mission to the
Oh,
stars, and so her obsession is to kind of get there by any means necessary, and make sure that what they died for wasn't in vain, to continue on their legacy. And she has to partner up with this the founder of the astronomy club, the Professor Barban Fowlis, to do this. And it's kind of I don't know, they very opposite personalities. They kind of have to work together to complete this mission. And then when they do get there, they find out it's this Lovecraftian world of horrors.
oh, lovely.
So yeah, hilarity ensues from there.
All right.
That was my
And
very scatterbrained rendition, yeah, of the story.
fair. And Marissa, often I find when I'm discussing comics with a person, usually I do it with a writer. Uh, in times like this, I get yourself, the artist. Um, now, as I understand it, Matt, you did the bulk of the writing, if not all the writing, and Marissa, you've done all the art. Is that correct?
Yes.
Perfect. So, this is a fun question for me because Matt having done the writing and yourself having done the art, your interaction with this work will be very different than Matt's. Because my famous and fun example is Matt can write in this panel. We see 10,000 horses, charging at a castle. But for Marissa to go in and have to draw that is a very different thing and takes a lot longer.
Oh yeah.
So Marissa, as oh yeah, as the artist on the book, Marissa, what do you feel the book is about?
I guess as the story has evolved to what we have and what we're working on today, it's a love story. It's an adventure story. It's a story of, I guess, redemption and like achieving your goals and not really finding what you expected. I can say much better with Matt than Matt about what the story is about, like with Beatrice trying to make the spaceship that can accomplish what could not be accomplished before. And drawing it, there is a lot of detail in this comic. And drawing a lot of inspiration from Melius's films. I guess there's just a lot to see and a lot to experience, and there's so many visual gags that I just love, and also having the freedom to explore that in like with my vision as well as Matt's. Like
oh yeah. I mean, one of the things that
no, you go.
Sure. One of the things that caught my eye, because in the opening video, so when people click on the link down below, and or simply Google Kickstarter, A Journey into the Abyss, they'll be able to just click play on the video, and the video itself has footage from the films by George Méliès. I'm sure I'm saying his name wrong.
I'm only saying it too, so don't worry.
And that, for me, immediately that conjures up a very specific style and look. And Marissa, your way of drawing and all the different details, because these are some cram-packed panels, but it still maintains a sort of whimsical and fun energy. So I was really impressed with it because it conveyed through style instantly sort of the feeling that I got from that one frame with the moon with the rocket in its eye. So I'm wondering how sort of when you're drawing all of this, how are you balancing high detail and potential eldritch horror with that kind of fun?
That is a very good question. Yeah, I don't really know how to answer that.
For sure. Well, okay.
If you scroll down to like her book plate, like I think she balances it really well, where you can kind of we see the villain. If you scroll way down past the pages, so we have a book plate. I guess I'll plug this. We have a book plate we're also offering as a risograph thing. So there it is. Here it is, risograph book print of our villain. So this is the kind of god of the abyss. He doesn't really have a name. He's like the god of the abyss. So yeah, I think it balances really well. You can see like the kind of Lovecraftian influences. And I honestly didn't notice this until, I don't know, maybe a few months ago. But he has like this big stogie in his tentacles.
Oh, he does.
So that's, I think that encapsulates it kind of very well, that eldritch horror with also that kind of whimsical turn of the century goofiness, silent film
Yeah.
slap
yeah.
nonsense that kind of
Maybe in part it's like referencing a lot of the, the old Méliès films,
Mm.
self-taught and learning art with composition, and also maybe a little bit of how much I actually feel like drawing in that panel. I was just thinking or saying to Matt, was it last night? Like, I'm really glad that Photoshop exists because there could be a lot of, mistakes and copy and paste when I need
Mm.
to. And
Yeah. She
Control
sent me a
Z is
panel
our
last
friend.
night that it was like I was blown away. It had a crowd scene, and in comics, with crowd scenes where the people in the front of the crowd you'll draw like somewhat detailed, and then the people
Oh yeah.
standing beside them are kind of like stick figures, and then everyone else is kind of just like circles.
Yeah.
And in this panel, Marissa like drew everybody in this crowd, and
Ooh.
I was like, oh my god. I felt bad for her, but also so impressed and yeah,
it's gonna
blown
look
away
really
by that
good in
by
the
one
end.
panel. What's that?
It's gonna look really good in the end.
It's gonna look, yeah, yeah. Another big influence,
Awesome.
like on me, and what I kind of told Marissa at the beginning was Wes Anderson films.
Hmm.
Oh yeah.
So kind of doing that aesthetic, like you can kind of, if you scroll up a bit more, you can kind of see it in this conversation between Beatrice and Barb and Follis in how like yeah, you can kind of see it a bit there where he's backlit and
Hmm.
yeah, but and kind of like in their rocket ship, it's very chitty chitty jet bang, chitty chitty bang bang, Steve Zissou kind of aesthetic. But yeah, it's this scene right here where it's really kind of static camera or static panel or whatever, and having characters in the bottom third, and then the two thirds above that are pretty much empty, and yeah, so I thought that fit well and it would look cool, and it
Oh
does.
yeah. So okay, fun question for the two of you working together on this. Matt, you've explained that as film. So for the folks out there, like the way that was discussed, and I find this happens a lot with people who make comics because film, uh, to make a film, basically you got to start somewhere. So you get and the word has totally escaped my brain. You get all basically, essentially, you get panel work, and then they go out and decide what they're going to do and how they're going to make the film and what it's going to look like. Essentially, they're making a comic book without fully rendering it.
Like storyboards.
Thank you. Yes,
Yeah.
storyboards. That's the word. So when you guys were coming up with the arrangement of the shots, um, Matt, I've always known you to work with other artists and find very interesting and eclectic people who draw really weird and interesting ways, much like Marissa. Um, Marissa, for yourself, like when Matt is providing detail on how panels should look, like what did that discussion look like? Was it just Matt said, "Hey, I have this idea," and then you were able to fill it in? For you, what was that teamwork like?
Well, I think Matt was very specific with his vision in a lot of the panels. Like, we want to see, the bottom half or the bottom third of a panel, or there's quite a few references to like different like films or shots or rooms that were included, and then I would go to like sketches or thumbnails, and I guess from there, like going back and forth and seeing like if that was good, um, and then going on to pencils and making sure that was better. um, I think we got along pretty fast with what we came up
Sure.
with. Yeah.
Yeah, my descriptions, or like I don't know, my panel descriptions can at the start, like for the first 10 pages, they're very kind of Alan Moore-ish, where one panel will be like half a page or something. And then later on in the script where I get kind of impatient with that, it'll just be like, 3 words or something like they fight or whatever. But yeah, so yeah, when because I don't know, because the artwork takes so much time and effort, I kind of want to alleviate some of that effort by providing whatever kind of references I can for
Right on.
so I think the first I don't know, first third of the script had like a lot of YouTube videos embedded
Oh,
in it
cool.
and
Right
like
Oh
on.
yeah.
like shots for like actual um Méliès films. So like
Mhm.
especially with this, like I think I'd probably just like for this page, like panel 1, panel 2, just like to a shot of the film. Um
Timestamped
let's
YouTube
let's
clip.
start our
yeah,
little
totally.
tail off with the most iconic shot in all of Melius's hundreds
Yeah,
of
there you
films.
go. I wrote that.
I mean,
By the way, I'm very
beauty.
sniffly, so if you see me doing this or go off camera, it's because I have to blow my nose. But yeah, there's another page down here, where it was the 4 panel grid where they're in the spaceship, kind of like doing stuff, or was it just above that? Maybe I haven't included it in
Ooh,
here.
I think
Oh, maybe I didn't put it
I
in
mean,
here.
there's like a one panel of it, not the whole page.
Yeah, okay,
oh,
okay,
I
yeah,
believe that
That
one.
one.
there it is. Yeah, okay, so I didn't put the whole page, but there's one panel here where there is a specific expression that I kind of wanted to convey, and Marissa did a few passes and it wasn't quite what I wanted, so I often do this where I do like my little crappy drawings as well.
Yep.
Send that and be like kind of like this. Like I've done that a lot for ID10T error where I have very kind of specific ideas of how a page will look and I don't communicate that so well on the script. So sometimes it's just easier to just do it yourself. So there's whole pages that are kind of like illustrated. I think like the cover for issue 3, I also kind of had to like roughly draw out for Octavio to kind of show him like what I
Oh,
had in mind.
right on. But I mean, I think, and Marissa, I'm sure you can support this. But the fact that Matt, you're willing to draw out what you're seeing in your head, can then let Marissa basically take over and go, okay, I get it, and then finalize to your specifications.
Oh yeah. Pencils by Matt.
Love it. Now, I did have a question because absolutely, like these panels, like I said, they're chock full of detail. But this just if that ain't the most eye-catching thing on this campaign, if not any campaign, I don't know what is. That is a massive explosion of color. The contrast between whatever this sort of field is and the ship, the way the colors are done, um, them standing off of the background, and yet the background is still very pretty, and it's got all the nice lines through it. Like, oh my god. Um, Marissa, I think earlier you mentioned Photoshop. I'm assuming are you doing everything in Photoshop? Do you do half traditional, half digital? Like, what's your process?
Um, Mostly I start on paper. Like I can visualize everything so much better when I'm drawing it out on paper.
Mm,
Um, I think it's once I start going into inks that I start going digitally because I'm a perfectionist. So it's much easier to perfect or erase and change and um, get the right proportions.
right on. And when it comes like because when I see something like this, right, where it's um I appreciate for the people at home, this is a useless gesture. I guess it's something like this. Um the way that the colors work, like that's almost pastel or watercolor to me, and then the way that the ship is drawn and colored, my eye sees almost like pencil crayon. Um,
Mm,
I appreciate it's definitely not what it was. Um, how do you get that kind of contrast, and does it feel weird to work in that level of contrast?
um, so the process of making, I guess, getting to this stage of the pages, I really wanted to kind of get as close to how like the a trip to the moon would have been made, or like other Méliès films. I started with a black and white, like doing everything in black and white, and then coloring over it in, I guess, its own layer.
Okay.
It's Oh, I'm glad you asked that because I was thinking about that earlier today too.
Perfect.
Just how um like Melissa's films aren't just black and white. A lot of them are tinted, or they're like colored. There are artists which were often female, who would paint the cells of these films, just like animation. And so they'd use like all these different dyes or paints or colors to, add the flair. So it's not just like this boring, I would say boring, but simple black and white film. So I kind of built my palette around what I could find the information about, like these different
Oh.
tints. So like they had amber, like I mean, this is what they traditionally used, was like amber for like daylight interiors, blue for like night scenes. They'd use like purple for like romantic scenes. But I guess to make this comic work, I really wanted to like combine all of that and create this.
I mean, it
So
works.
yeah,
Awesome.
so it's really like I'm really glad that I could incorporate that. Like it's something I really wanted to do for this comic.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's interesting too that you bring that up, like, because as I mentioned earlier, like when I see the colors, my brain goes to I guess pastels and watercolor, but getting to like the film end of it, that actually really for some reason reminds me of like the fourth Star Wars, like well, episode 4, the first Star Wars film, where a lot of the backgrounds for some of the larger scenes, it was all painted in, and then they would film a very specific shot and sort of interject them so that it looked right. So I think it's really cool that you're referencing the traditional colors and methods that they would have used to literally color on film in order to make that pop. Yeah, it's just so cool.
Well, thank you.
No, so we're about halfway through the interview, and there's an important question that I need to ask, and something I need to start with. So once again, for the folks out there, first link down below will take you to this campaign. You can easily also just Google Kickstarter: A Journey into the Abyss. Kickstarter Matt McGrath will also work. You'll see some other stuff, but you will find this, and
It should be at the top.
should be at the top. You launched this today, correct?
Correct.
So we've got 29 days to go. You've got 30 backers already. For our American friends, I'm sorry, but your goal is 15,000 Canadian dollars, and you're already just shy of $2,000 within a day. Wonderful progress. So already, congratulations.
Yay.
Yeah. Can I get one of you, if not both of you, to sort of walk me through the tiers so people know what they're going to be able to get? Because I find a lot of people can get apprehensive about a Kickstarter, and they're like, "Oh my god, I don't know what's involved. It could be expensive. I might not get my book." And rah 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 rah. Which, by the way, I've seen extremely few times when the book didn't get made. So yeah. But yeah, would you kindly?
It happens, but not on my campaigns. That's
No.
for sure.
And I will have a follow-up question regarding that in a second. But yeah, can one of you take me through the rewards?
Sure. All right. I'll take it away if that's okay, Marissa.
Absolutely.
All right. So our featured reward right here is our print copy of Marissa's amazing cover, and yeah, we're doing a book plate. a lot of time people do prints, and that's cool. But usually when I get a print, I like look at it for a second, then I kind of put it on my desk and never see it again.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think book plates are really cool. Whenever I pre-order a book and I get a book plate with it, I'm like so excited because I can just like take it off the sticker and put it in my book, and then it's there forever. And see it every time I open. So yeah, we're doing a Rhizograph book plate.
Ooh.
I love Rhizograph. I've never done it before, so I'm super excited to do a Rhizograph thing. And so yeah, so for this you'll get the book plate, the cover, and you'll get it both signed by myself and Marissa. So that's our kind of like main feature one.
Awesome.
And if you go down, oh, there you go. Excuse me while I blow my nose. Yeah, so our basic tier digital PDF. You get a PDF of the 80-page book.
Nice.
And yeah, so with this, we're also going to be, since like this story is kind of told chapter by chapter, and Marissa is going through the story, like drawing it chapter by chapter, I thought like you might as well just release it chapter by chapter. So
Ooh.
once it funds, you won't have to wait like a year to get the PDF. We'll send it out as a link. Chapter one, once this funds, we'll send out the prologue
Mhm.
so people can read. And then as we finish each chapter, we'll send it out to the backers. And then at the end, they'll also get the complete compiled PDF of the book as well. So
Awesome.
yeah. So yeah, so sometimes I get frustrated. I don't get frustrated, but sometimes people can get frustrated if they're waiting over a year for a book. But these things take time. So I thought this was a nice compromise where people can get the story piecemeal, and if they want to read it all in one go, then they can do that too.
That's my personal thing. I have learned issue by issue or chapter by chapter. Slowly, it's becoming not my thing. I'm the kind of guy who can wait, but I certainly understand not having the patience for that.
Yeah. We want to keep everybody happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, then we have our digital plus one. So this you'll get some back matter, about 10 pages of back matter, and we have tons of stuff to share between layouts, pencils, character sketches. I'm also gonna include a copy of the script as well, so you can see all my
Oh,
page-long panel descriptions, or my 3-sentence or three-word panel descriptions as well, and all the kind of weird ideas that I had that went into this. So yeah, then I think after that we have just the print. Yep, print copy, cover A by Marissa. So that just gets you the book, $30 Canadian. So $20 US, around that.
that
I think it's
sounds right. My brain wants to say
pretty
like
reasonable.
22 for some reason, but yeah.
Oh, really? Yeah. Yeah, so a little bit surprised that actually this is usually when I launch a campaign, I get way more digital backers than I do physical backers. But with this, it's the opposite, where I'm getting a couple of digital backers, but way more physical backers. So that's pretty exciting.
Right on.
So yeah, that's that. And then Fellhound cover. Um, I know you're a big fan of Fellhound. She did a
Absolutely.
cover and it looks awesome. And yeah, so it's just a little bit more, $40 Canadian, so like 30 US. We already got a bunch of people backing that. And then our C cover is by Jen Woodall, who I've been a big fan of for, I don't know, yeah, years and years. Like, I don't know, have you ever heard of Magical Beatdown, Konrad?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, okay. So that's where I first um, saw her work. And yeah, I've been a big fan ever since. And
Right on.
I picked up Pulping at TCAF this year and Dumbass and read it on the subway and was laughing out loud. And people were looking at me thinking I was a weirdo.
I mean, let's be honest. They're not terribly wrong, right? I think we're all a little.
Yeah, yeah, it's true. It's probably not the weirdest thing they saw on the TTC that day, so I'm being a little too hard on myself, I think. But yeah, so I just got that from Jen Monday night, so this is hot off the presses. So that
wow.
was very exciting to get. See
Mhm.
that come together, kind of last minute. Then I think we have what do we? Oh, okay. So signed book plate plus a sketch from Marissa. So that's pretty exciting. Um, so yeah, just you'll get it signed by both of us, plus you'll get like a little sketch of a character, courtesy of Marissa.
You made a
Right.
nice blank spot on the.
Yeah, we made a lot of room for something nice to go there.
Right on. For that, Marissa, is it a sketch of a character from the book? Is it any character, or can people say like, "Hey, I want X character"? What's the plan?
This one would be more from the like just a character from the book.
Yeah,
Because you'll see later on that we have something more specific too.
Ah,
little
okay.
tease.
Well then, we'll keep going down the
Yeah,
list and we'll see where we get.
yeah, digital comic bundle. So yeah, you get ID10T Error, 1 to 3, and then Everyday Fears as well. So that's an anthology I did a couple of years ago of short stories that were horror comedy themed. And
Years
then
ago?
what's that?
It hasn't been years ago, has it?
Yeah, it's a couple of years ago, plural. 2
Okay.
years is years. Yeah.
No, yeah, 2 years is
I
years.
think
A couple years.
I think it
Wow.
was 2023. So yeah, it's been a couple of years now.
Holy moly. All right,
Then
cool.
yeah, we're getting older. Time marches on.
Yeah, and it don't wait for nobody.
Yeah. And then also Reflections by Marissa. So her
Right on it.
comic that came out probably
Last
also
year.
like 2 years ago, right?
No, it was last year.
It was last year. Oh my god.
Last
See,
year.
time means nothing to me.
Right? That's why like people are like, "Oh yeah, I made this book X years ago," and I'm like, "Didn't I just interview you about that like a couple months back?" And I scroll through my YouTube catalog and it's like 1 year ago, 1.5 years ago, and I'm like, "Oh my god."
Time has no meaning.
No, I don't. Beauty. Then after, so our digital comic bundle, so 6 comics.
6 comics, yeah.
Well, $55.
Or
Six
6
comics.
comics plus the graphic novel plus a Journey into the Abyss. So
Oh,
I think it's almost 300 pages of comics you're getting there for $55 Canadian.
whew, wow, love it.
Deal.
And then after that, we have
Yeah, so some original art. So yeah, Marissa was talking about how she, will do the pencils on paper and then scan that and then do the rest, the inks in Photoshop. So yeah, so with art grab bag, you'll get, 1 to 2 pieces or 1 to 3 pieces, depending on what it is. It could be a pencil page, it could be a layouts of several pages, or it could be
cool.
some character sketches. You never know what you're going to get. So yeah, you'll get a few cool pieces of some art along with a cover as well.
Sweet. Ah, the next one. Here we go. The coolest thing I think in the world.
Popular. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I love doing this. We did it on ID10T Error, and it was always a ton of fun. So yeah, the idea there's a few panels in the comic already where there's kind of portraits in the background. So I thought it would be cool to like do more of that, but like have it be a reward where people who back it will get drawn into it. So yeah, you'll be drawn into a portrait that appears, on a wall in the background behind the scene, and characters talking or whatever. Or you could be, a celestial object in the
Ooh.
cosmos, because that comes up a lot in Méliès's films where
Mhm.
the shooting star goes by, but somebody's head's in it or something like that. So
Oh, that's so cool.
either one.
That's fun. I like that. Like, I'm used to seeing these where it's like, oh, for whatever reason, a lot of comics are about zombies. Oh, we'll draw you as a zombie and you'll get killed. And like, that's cool, especially if zombies are your thing. Amazing. But this is an interesting twist on it. I like that.
Yeah,
Good for you guys.
Marissa's gonna dry up real nice. It'll look good.
Do
And
my
then-
best.
Absolutely. And then last but not least,
Yeah. So here we have a commission tier. Woohoo! I think for a pretty reasonable price as well. So you'll get um one drawing of a character of your choice, like a pop culture character, limited background. Um, it'll be a digital drawing you'll receive, but you'll get I can't say this word, Geesly. A really nice.
I thought it was
Really nice.
Geisley.
Glycine.
Yeah. What's it? How do you say it?
Uh, for reference, again, I believe I know this. My partner Vanessa is a artist and art teacher. She has always said it to me, glycine.
I see. That sounds better than Geesly, what I said. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that from now on. But yeah, we'll print it up all nice for you, so you'll get a really good high quality print of your commission from Barissa.
That'll be beautiful. Right on.
I think that's it.
Yeah, so as a quick rundown, if someone just wants the digital, they'll be able to get it chapter by chapter, or like myself, they can wait for the whole thing. And that would run them basically 30 Canadian, again, 80-page graphic novel. If they're into the physical, like myself, as people can see, that'll go for between 30, or sorry, digital is 20 Canadian. Physical is 30 for Marissa's cover, and then 40 for the alt covers. And then it sort of goes up from there to cameo in the book for 150 Canadian, which I think is amazing. You've already got 3. There's only 7 spots left. And then if we want to make Marissa work extra hard, one person's already got a commission. There are 4 remaining. Amazing.
We also have the option to add extra copies of the book as add-ons.
So, yeah, they're add-ons too. And there's a sticker add-on as well. So a sticker sheet. So all the kind of the headers that are in the campaign page of like the planets that are anthropomorphized, they'll appear on a sticker sheet as well. So you can grab that.
Love it. That's so cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, for the folks at home, if you've not noticed, while I've been scrolling in this absolutely nauseating speed, basically under any tier that you're after, so however you want to support the book, whatever you like, basically you can pledge, get your base thing, but if you scroll under it, you can then just add on a couple more things, and that's totally cool. I love that it gives you the option for that.
Me too. Thanks, Kickstarter.
Oh, yeah.
You know what they're doing over there.
They do. They've had some thoughts. It's going to make me want to go through that. I don't want to go through all of that. We're going to go back to campaign. There we go.
Yeah.
So a question that I have, I'm very familiar with Matt's work. I've got, I think, all of it somewhere. Marissa, unfortunately, I don't have any of your work at the moment. So what I wanted to ask was, what was sort of the first comic that you've made and released? And how many projects have you been a part of since?
I guess the first one was, I mentioned previously, we made a comic anthology through the Brandon Art Gallery, AGSM. There was a local comic artist who brought together some young artists to put a comic into this book called Winter Green, with a theme about gift giving. And so I think it was like a 4-pager with a title page that we put in there, and I think it turned out pretty nice. We had a launch during the Christmas sale, and so from there was another project after that, which was horror based, and that was more intended for, we were doing a BrandCon, our comic convention in Brandon, which only happened once because unfortunately the pandemic happened and a lot of things kind of fell out. The next one would be the Gothic Tales of Haunted Futures. That was the first one where I guess I was really like the big one that getting published, and
Right
where
on.
Matt found me and reached out to me. The editor of that, Sam Baiko, she's been really great for helping
Good.
out and organizing a lot of like programs and stuff revolving around comics, the Prairie Comics Festival in Winnipeg.
Wonderful.
Yeah, and then from there I've been in a couple other anthologies. One was from Level Ground Comics, which is a student group based out of SCAD in Georgia, Atlanta, or Savannah.
No way.
Yeah.
My partner has been involved with SCAD quite a bit, actually. That's
Oh
interesting.
yeah, cool. Yeah, so it was, I think, 3 years ago. It was the Dreamweaver one. That was one that they had asked me to illustrate the cover for as well, which was really, really exciting opportunity.
Oh, that's so cool.
And then there's also Wild Star Press, which is also in Atlanta. I was in one of their earlier anthologies, Songs of the Sea, and had a comic in there about pirates. It was a pirate themed anthology. And then it was a couple years ago that they had it open for submissions, and that's when I submitted my comic reflections to them, and they're like, "Yeah, we want to get this published and out there." It's a very small like press, but it's been great to have that out there. And the reflections was
yeah.
actually a story that's been kind of close to me for years, so it was really nice to have a place to find a home for it.
Good. That's awesome. Congratulations. And
Thank you.
yeah, on Wednesday night reviews, absolutely. Small indie press is all what we're about.
Woo.
So thank you for helping me learn about more indie comics out there. I love it.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And now, as the folks at home will be able to see, I do have your website pulled up. So again, it's marissa.art.
Yeah.
And then /comics, because comics. But yeah, you've got book illustrations, digital artwork, tip jar, love it, contact. So if people want to go out and get your work, see it, enjoy it, I'm guessing marissa.art would be the place to go.
It's MERISSA.
Love it. Awesome. And we'll flip back to the campaign at hand.
Is so there it is.
Yeah, there we go. So we've got about 12 minutes left. Now before we started the interview, Matt, you mentioned something that I think is wild. I understand it, but I think it's wild. And I guess I wanted to ask for both of you about, this could be a roundabout way, and forgive my very long phrasing of this question, but it'll be asking about basically connecting into the comics community. But interestingly enough, neither of you before 49 minutes ago had verbally communicated. Is that correct?
That is correct.
That's true.
Wild.
I know.
So I guess maybe we'll start with you, Marissa, as long as you're comfortable with it. How have you found connecting into your local and nationwide, I suppose, comics community? How have you gone about it in your process?
I guess like kind of looking at the wintergreen community that was organized by a local comic artist, Kurt Schultz. He actually used to do a lot of inking and other work for what is it, DC Comics.
Oh.
So he was actually a very good, I guess, guidance for all the questions that I had when I was just, starting to figure out how to actually make comics. Um,
Oh.
I haven't really met a lot of other comic creators in Brandon.
Mhm.
But through Prairie Comics Festival in Winnipeg, and like Sam
Right on.
Baiko, who had made the Gothic Tales books, it was kind of from there that I could see or meet a lot more comic creators, within Manitoba. And I guess even beyond that, because there's been people from all over that have been coming to that. And it's been really great to connect with those people. And actually, in a couple weeks, we're going to be having our first. It's the Brand Zine Fest in Brandon.
Ooh.
So that's also organized by Prairie Comics Festival. So it's going to be kind of exciting to see like who's going to be there, and actually maybe get to meet those people. And
That is.
yeah.
I'm just gonna quickly pull that up. Look at that.
Oh, beautiful. Oh yeah, they asked me to do the poster for that too.
Oh yeah, that's great.
Oh, well, look at you.
This is something that I've wanted to happen, and it's really awesome that Sam and from the AGSM have finally been able to have that happen. It's happening in a couple weeks.
Love it. Yeah, Saturday, July 5th, from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. $2 cash admission fee. Love it. Bring a toonie,
Toonie.
folks, or two loonies.
Yeah, because it's the first one we've had here, so it's a bit of a trial experience to see how it goes.
Well, I hope it is absolutely amazing. I hope you get to connect with a lot of really cool people. I hope lots of people come and buy your books. And if nothing else, you have a great day.
Absolutely.
And what about you, Matt? How have you found connecting into the comics community, both locally and then nationally?
Yeah, so I don't know, like as a comics creator, I found myself more inclined to work with fellow Canadian creators
Mhm.
since
Love it.
November of 2024 for I think we all know why. Uh yeah, so yeah, like I've like this for example, like Fellhound Canadian, Jen Whittle Canadian, me Canadian, Marissa Canadian. Like it's my mission to work with many Canadian comic creators as I can, and it's so far been really easy because there are so many awesome,
Yeah.
amazing Canadians that make comics. Um, yeah, so yeah, I don't know, I just kind of always keep an eye out for people like TCAF, like is a great example. There's a bunch of people I got to meet for the very first time, both like collaborators. Like I met Michelle, who's the editor on this book, for the very first time, which
Oh,
was really cool to meet her in person. And yeah,
Michelle.
saw felt
Uh,
about her.
yes, thank you. I didn't want to butcher it. Thank you.
Yeah, I might have as well. I've never said her last name out loud, but I hope I said it correctly. Yeah, so that was a lot of fun. And yeah, I'd met Fellhound before, but got to see her again. Yeah, I got to talk to a whole bunch of people. John Berg.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know him.
Uh,
So yeah,
Scrub, Scud, Scrub.
Scab.
Scab. Thank you. Yes, issue 2 just
Yeah.
came out. They were at Wayside Comics, I think, last weekend.
Yes. Yeah. 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 He was there, and I think he exhibited some of his original art.
Mm.
Yeah. So I met him. I've met him like a couple of times, but I think he's the only collaborator I've met in person, or artistic collaborator, and uh, yeah, so hopefully be working on something with him in the near
Oh,
future. Tease tease. He's working on a graphic novel right now. So once he's kind of wrapped that up, we might do like a little thing, you know. See.
cool.
That'd be
Um,
awesome.
yeah, but
All right.
I don't know where I was going with that. Yeah, it's weird. Like somebody with Otavio, he lives in Brazil, and
Oh,
I've known him, I don't know, 7, 8 years now. And we're like friends, and we kind of chat or whatever. But like another example of a dude I've never met in real life, nor have I ever spoken to in real life, but somebody who I've talked to like pretty much at least every week for the past 8 years.
yeah.
Yeah,
Wild
so it's
world we
fun.
live in.
Yeah, totally.
So,
Yeah, there's the artist I'm working with right now,
oh,
for my next thing. He lives in the Philippines. And then the colorist that I'm going to be working with, um, hopefully for that book is in Poland, I think. And even with the Journey into the Abyss, our letterer is from the Ukraine, so it's a very cool international community that
Hmm.
we belong to. People that make comics and think they're awesome.
yeah. I think that's one of the been it's been one of the coolest things about uh talking to all the different creators I get to talk to is just the extremely global um distribution of them, but then also just how interconnected it is. It's the best thing, I think, and
Hmm.
it's very fascinating. Um, one important question I didn't ask earlier, I meant to, I didn't, I'm going to. Um,
Good.
on the Kickstarter page, as people can see me scrolling through here. Um, there's a fair chunk of the art already done. Some rather complex stuff that I think is wicked. Um, and then uh, well, straight up, it looks like a fair chunk of the book and a good spread. Like there's like page 1, page 51, page 48, 27, and 26 are in here, of an 80-page book. So what level of completion is the book in? Is it just these pages currently that are done? Are there others that are, thumbnailed, or what's currently the process been?
Yeah, so we kind of jumped around a little bit because we wanted to show like a range of the story. So
Mm.
um, yeah, we kind of like took select scenes from different parts of the story that were like kind of different and diverse, and illustrated a few of those. So right now the prologue is completely done. So it pages 1 to 11
Oh,
are done.
wow.
Um, and then yeah, little sprinkled finished pages throughout the book. And right now Marissa is working on chapter 1. So I believe she has chapter 1 penciled and is working on the inks right now.
Love it. Awesome. That great progress. And again, I believe the expected delivery date is September 2026. Um, so, given what's already done, I don't know, maybe sooner, who knows? But I think that's a good feel of
Eh,
time to be able to get everything done, pack in all the
wouldn't go that far.
detail. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome, though. So, we've got like a minute left. Um, I absolutely want to give you guys time to shout out where is it exactly that people can find you online? Where are you actually active? Um, if active, I mean, Instagram for my personally, but yeah, when you guys are online posting, where is it?
Sure. So I'm mostly on Blue Sky. Stupid Matt at Blue Sky. I don't know how Blue Sky the handle is. Blue
It's
Sky
long.
something dot something. But yeah, I'm there. Um, and also on Instagram. I don't even remember at my handle. It's probably Stupid Matt. So, again,
Yes, it's like
it's kind
at
of a thing.
stupid
My branding.
underscore man.
Yeah. So you can find me there. Deleted my Twitter. Also around November 2024. I don't remember. I don't know.
Huh?
That seems like a very specific date where
Yeah, oddly
something
specific. Yeah.
important
Never
happened.
happened.
Where yeah, I don't know. But yeah, that I no longer have that, and I don't particularly miss it. So yeah, so Blue Sky
Cool.
and Instagram, you can find me.
Wonderful. And what about yourself, Marissa?
I guess mostly I use Instagram, which would be at Sorcy, Sorecy, and then my portfolio, Marissa.art.
Wonderful. Awesome. And then one quick last question, because I find it a fun one to ask. Whoever wants to go first, up to you guys. But the question is, often I find folks who make comics, read comics, and often if you read comics, you tend to be a little nerdy and collect something. Yeah. So what is it? What is the thing in your collection that maybe not the most expensive, maybe not the most rare, but what's the thing that makes you the most happy to have?
Um, I don't most happy to have.
What's the thing that when you see it, you go, awesome, I love it. That makes me happy.
Yeah. Right now, I've always been like into Gunpla, making Gundams. It kind of like ebbs and flows, and right now I'm more on like on peaking. So yeah, before I like hand painted them in university, but didn't look so great. So now I'm kind of leveling up my game, and I'm using spray cans for the very first time. So yeah, like I in my kind of office area, I have it all like set up. Like I have the different pieces all kind of like on the skewer and attached, and it's all stuck into the styrofoam thing. So it's like all ready to go, and I'm just priming it. And I suspect that I'll once that's done, even if it's not great, even if it's still very amateurish, I'll have a great sense of pride once it's finished. When I kind of do my first kind of like spray painted, really intense gunpla paint. So yeah, my special one is forthcoming.
Are you doing real grade, master grade, high grade?
So for this one, I'm just starting like super simple. I bought like a high grade, $10 high grade kit of
Right on.
like a grunt, like a whatever. I think it's RGM 79 or something like that. Like it's not even a Gundam. This is kind of like one of the foot soldier ones
Yep.
from the series. So yeah, I figure like if I totally screw it up, I'm not going to feel too bad for messing up a $10 set.
10
So
bucks, and if nothing else, you'll learn something.
exactly. So yeah.
Cool. Go, Matt. I've got a real grade metal skeleton wing zero. Uh, the body is done. The wings are not sitting in a box about 10 feet from me that I need to finish.
Yeah, you gotta get on that.
Yeah, I really do. And Marissa, what about yourself? What's the thing that you have that makes you happy? Again, doesn't have to be a comic book, obviously.
I was hoping that I'd figure it out after you were finished, but
Talk more about Gunpla if you need more time.
I mean, I collect a lot of books, but I also have a
Ooh.
small collection of like figurines, especially of like fairies. And
Oh.
a lot of them are things like you don't see them a lot anymore. You used to be able to get them in dollar stores and things, and sometimes you'd find them like thrift stores. But yeah, I guess one of my favorite ones is just like this really tall, slender one that actually had her wings broken off, but she stands above all the other ones that I have, and I don't know. Every time I see it, it makes me happy.
Wonderful. And is it because when you said that, like the dollar store ones are the ones at like the thrift stores and stuff, my brain went to the ones I believe they were porcelain, and the immediately what I pictured was basically like it's the one that I have in my head is it's about yay big, like I could hold it like that. It has like a base
There's
that's like a
moments.
cloud, a fairy. So it'd be like on like a cloud, and then the one I see is basically sitting on the cloud. She's sort of leaned forward with her hands outstretched, and then she's got these big like butterfly wings.
Ooh.
Is that like is it more porcelain that you're after? Is it ceramics, plastic?
It's kind of, I think, a lot more porcelain and ceramics.
Okay.
But I have a little bit of everything, so.
Cool. And I mean, the motif definitely fits with your art style. So that's wicked. That's so cool. Well, absolutely, Matt, Marissa, it has been a blast having you on. Once again, to the folks at home, yeah, for sure. First link down below will get you to the campaign. Go back the book, whether it's digital, physical, whether you want a commission done, whether you want to be drawn in, there are options. You can have these things. Go and do it. And yeah, Matt, Marissa, it has been genuinely a pleasure. Is there anything last that you want to shout out before we go? It doesn't have to be. I want to give you the field and the opportunity.
No, just go back the book.
It's gonna be a
Right
big
now. Do it now.
book. Big, you can see all the details.
Wonderful.
Yeah, watch the movie too. I put a lot of effort into that movie, and spent a lot of time making my costume. So if you don't back, at least watch the video.
Yeah, go click this and enjoy. It will likely inspire you to click here. Well, absolutely. Once again, both of you, thank you so much for taking the time to come on the show tonight.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, it's fun.
And for the folks out there in YouTube land, thank you for tuning in. Comment down below what you think of Matt McGrath, what you think of Marissa Mayhew, A Journey into the Abyss, or any other works that you've read, and subscribe for more, and we'll see you next time.
Golden age to present, digest to oversize. Never miss new comic day, yeah, no surprise. So where's my no prize? Check the letter columns, can't find issue 2. Collector problems, cliffhangers, mysteries.